is Pascal, and welcome to my Lebanese kitchen. I am 100% Lebanese and was brought up in the kitchen with my mom and my grandmother. And today I'm going to show you how to make hummus. I do it a little bit differently than they do, but pretty much it's all the same ingredients. What you'll need is vegetable oil, tahini paste, which is sesame paste. That needs to be shaken really well before you actually put it in. You're going to need some garlic. I use about 5 to 6 because I like mine really garlicky, but it's totally up to you. You can put more or lessen it. You're going to need citric acid. You could use lemon juice. You don't have to use citric acid, but I find that citric acid gives it a better lemony flavor. You're also going to need some salt. And about a cup of water, cold water that is. Okay, the first thing I do is I take my garlic cloves and I'll put them into my food processor. And then you're also going to need some hummus, which I forgot to tell you. These are actually out of a bag, so you're going to need to soak them a day in advance and then cook them until they're nice and soft. These are cold. You can use them warm if you want to, but I use mine preferably cold. It makes it smoother hummus if you leave it colder. Like I said, this is about 1 bag. If you're going to use the can, I would use about 3 15-ounce cans of chickpeas. Any chickpeas will do. Garbanzo beans, chickpeas, whatever you can find in the market. So I put my garlic cloves in my food processor, and now I'm going to put my chickpeas in. I'm going to take the top of the food processor and go ahead and get it started. I usually like to pulse it a couple times just so that it disperses out a little bit. It's binding together, and this is what the water is for and what the vegetable oil is for. So now I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to try to yell over it so you guys can hear me. I usually turn it up to full speed, 3 or 4. I'm not sure. Every food processor is different. So I'm going to turn mine up to 3 and add my water. I'm going to add my vegetable oil, about 1/4 of a cup. Okay, I'm going to stop the machine right now just so that I can scrape the outer parts of the food processor. So just take your spatula and kind of go down the sides. Now you might need a little bit more water. If you need a little more water, you can add gradually. I wouldn't add a whole bunch all at one time. I usually let this go for about 3 minutes until I see that everything has been incorporated. Okay, once everything has been incorporated, I'll go ahead and add my salt. I would say for 1 bag of chickpeas, I would probably add maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. But you add it according to your flavor and your taste. Then I'm going to add my citric acid, and I would say I add probably a 1/2 teaspoon of citric acid. If you want it more lemony, you add a little bit more citric acid. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and give it another twirl. Okay, after a little bit of twirl, I usually taste it around this time just to kind of see the salt and the citric acid if I need to add any more of any of those two ingredients. And actually right now it's actually perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add my tahini paste and I'm going to shake it really well before I add it on. You don't want it to be clumpy because if it's clumpy then it's going to make your hummus clumpy. Now you can find tahini paste in any, of course, Arabic shopping center. Or you can also find it probably in your organic food section of any shopping center. And nowadays you can actually find it in the international section in the grocery store. So you can buy a little bit at a time or a lot depending on how much you enjoy making hummus. We, of course, buy for 6 people, so we buy a big one. And never, never taste sesame paste by itself. It is not yummy at all. So now the sesame paste, you can put less or more of what you like. Usually I would say probably about a cup of sesame paste is usually good. Now when you grind it back up, when you turn the food processor back on, and then you come to taste it after it's been all incorporated, if you don't think it has enough tahini paste in it, then you just put a little bit more. Okay, now I just let this run for a good 5 minutes until it's nice and creamy. Okay, so our hummus is finished now. So we'll just take off our top. And I'm not sure if you can see, but I'll tilt it a little bit. And this is what it's supposed to look like. It looks nice and creamy, no lumps, no bumps, nothing like that. Now, if you want to make sure that you have enough tahini paste in it, now's the time to taste it. Obviously, before you lift it up out of what I did. But this is just to show you guys. And mine is actually perfect. It's the perfect consistency and perfect flavor that I was achieving. So now you want to change it and put it into a nice bowl that you have at home. So I'm going to put mine in this one. And you just kind of spread it in there. And make sure you put everything in there. And then, us being Lebanese, we always have to decorate everything. So we're going to decorate it where we're going to spread it around, kind of make a center with it. Now, I saved some chickpeas from my bag that I already cooked. So what I normally do with it is I'll take a couple chickpeas from what I already made and just kind of decorate the bowl. So I put some in the center. And then I'll put a couple chickpeas all around just so that it looks nice and pretty. But like I said, it's totally up to you guys on how you want to do it. And then I cut some parsley, just real tiny, and fresh parsley. And then just kind of put it over the top there like that. And then you want to take some olive oil. And you're going to want to put the olive oil into the crevice that you created. And last but not least is a little bit of paprika. And the paprika is not for any flavor or anything like that. It's just for decoration. And I usually like to kind of just spread it around. You can make lines, you can decorate it however you wish. And then if you have fresh mint, like all Lebanese people should have, you just take a couple of sprigs and kind of put them in the center as well for decoration, for decorating purposes, just to make it look nice. And that's it. And that's quite easy. This is how you make hummus. It's not difficult at all. Some people use olive oil to make it. I found that the vegetable oil actually makes it more creamy, and that the olive oil kind of consolidates it a little bit. So I choose to make it with the vegetable oil route. But that's it. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen, in my Lebanese kitchen. If you have any questions, leave your comments below and we'll answer them as soon as we can. And you'll find all the ingredients that I used also in the down below in the description box. Okay? Thank you again.